Hello, Liverpool fans. Welcome to the Liverpool Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates, and transfer stories straight from Anfield. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that subscribe button now and stay in the loop with all things Reds. Liverpool boss Arneslot has batted away accusations that his players are feeling the pressure of the Premier League title race, insisting that nerves haven't affected them. Slot's side edged through Sunday's 2-1 win at home to Wolves after the visitors pushed for an equaliser at Anfield, having pulled a goal back in the second half. The Reds stayed resolute to avoid dropping points like in last week's chaotic Merseyside derby. Liverpool conceded in the 98th minute that night, a goal which denied them the chance to extend their lead at the top to 9 points. With the run-in on the horizon and the Reds approaching their third of 5 games in just 15 days, talk of title pressure has begun. But Slot insists that he isn't nervous, claiming that Liverpool have dealt with pressure situations all season. The Reds boss recalled the moment when third-choice goalkeeper Vítězslav Jaros was called on to protect a 1-0 lead at Crystal Palace in October. "I think it is being described as nervy, because we are coming towards the end of season, and not because of us, but because of what people make of it," Slot explained before Wednesday's clash with Aston Villa. "We've played more games away from home where we have won by 1 goal. I remember Palace away when Jaros had to make a big save. We didn't need the big save against Wolves, but people are talking about nerves. When you are only leading by 1 goal, it's going to need a lot of defending and hard work. A lot of people talk about nerves at this stage of the season. Not me." Slot, though, does recognise how his experienced players can play their part in helping out members of his squad who haven't experienced a title race. It helps they are used to playing big games in their career with a lot of pressure. Like Alexis Mac Allister, who has won the World Cup, the Liverpool manager noted, "Everton away is a hostile experience, so it helps if you've been there already. That's why it helped Connor Bradley, was his first one, and he'll get more and more used to it. The more experience you have playing big games, the better it is. Some young players maybe don't have experience of big games, but make the right decisions because of their quality. We must not overvalue experience, but it does help." Jamie Carragher has confirmed that Liverpool have offered Mohamed Salah a new contract, and the Anfield legend said that he would be gutted if the club's hierarchy do not come back with an improved offer to tie starman Salah down. The future of the Premier League's top scorer and assist maker remains uncertain with 4 months remaining on his deal. While Liverpool's issue surrounds offering a player who turns 33 this summer a long-term deal, Carragher sees no issue with Salah because his conditioning is so good. "Do not believe he hasn't been offered a contract. I can actually assure you he has been offered a contract," Carragher said on the Overlaps fan debate. Speaking alongside Paul Scholes, the former Manchester United man kicked things off, saying, "Once you get over 30, I think every club looks at that. That's the way they do it. But I think it's a little bit different now. In our time, 35, you were done. But now you're seeing players going to 37, 38, 39, 40. It's all right having all that info and data, but your eye has to see it as well. Arneslot and his staff will see them in training every day and just look at their bodies. What are they? 32, 33? It looks to me like 2 years is not a problem. We talk about a year's option. That option is not always in the club's favour. It gets triggered with a certain number of appearances. I could understand people looking at me thinking a year is enough, but I'm looking at them thinking they could this for another 2 years. Carragher then replied saying, "I agree. For me. Because they're still so good now. I understand what they've done for the club, but they're still so good right now that I don't think you can be offering them a year. It'd have to be 2. I'd be gutted if Liverpool didn't sign them. But I'd also be looking at them like, why haven't you signed? The team is made for them. It is loved. Where are they going to go? Other clubs aren't going to give them the money or give them long contracts, certainly in Europe." Carragher went on to say Salah may not be interested in a switch to Saudi Arabia, where the money on offer will be huge, but the standard and level of glory is a fraction of what he could do in Europe. "We talk about Saudi. I just can't see Salah doing that. He's too driven. He's too much of a winner. I think Salah can go until he's 37, 38. He can play." Dean Huijsen has already suggested he wants to make history with Bournemouth by representing them in Europe for the first time next season. and that could leave the 19-year-old central defender's suitors, thought to include Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United, significantly disappointed ahead of the summer transfer window, where a release clause in his contract will become active. Huijsen only arrived on the south coast in the summer, joining from Juventus for £15 million. But he has made such a big impression with the Cherries in the first half of the season that the top flight's elite are already circling. It's been reported that Huijsen could be available for just £50 million in the summer due to a clause in his contract, which has put plenty of clubs on red alert. However, it may not be a foregone conclusion that Huijsen leaves, given Bournemouth are among a pool of clubs who are in with a chance of qualifying for Europe next season. The Cherries have never played in Europe before, meaning that Andoni Iraola's side would make history if they can go on to finish in the upper echelons of the Premier League table this season, and European football could persuade Huijsen to stay put. He hinted as much in an interview with The Guardian last month, where he said, "We're doing well and I think we can qualify for Europe. We have the quality and the potential. Who wouldn't want to play in Europe? I think everyone would like that. It would go down in the history of the club. It would be great for all of the players, fans and everyone involved. I think it is realistic with how we are playing. We are doing well and all of the stats show that it's not just luck and we deserve to be here. We just need to keep on working hard, stay humble and continue proving ourselves." Bournemouth boss, Iraola, who currently has the club 5th in the Premier League standings, thinks Huijsen is destined for the top. He said, "I think he has shown from the beginning that he can do this. He plays with confidence, and even though he is 19 years old, he has played a few games. But now with the injury to Marcos Senesi, he for sure will have to play more. It is not always easy to play as a defender in the Premier League, but I hope the young players can grow together and continue their development. The good thing for them is that they have room to improve." Liverpool set for an important run of fixtures this week, having bounced back after dropping points against Everton to beat Wolves 2-1 on Sunday. The Reds currently sit 7 points clear of closest rivals Arsenal at the top of the Premier League, but are now preparing for 2 huge games as they travel to Aston Villa on Wednesday and Manchester City on Sunday. Liverpool boss Arneslot will be hoping his side can extend their lead over the Gunners, who only play one this week when they host West Ham at the Emirates. With all that in mind, Mirror Football takes a look at some of the latest news from Anfield. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk has told fans to buckle up as the Reds look to win a 20th league title this season. "I said it weeks ago. We just have to buckle up, enjoy the ride," Van Dijk said after the Wolves win. "There will be a lot of twists and turns. If you're not ready for it, and we have been there already, it will be a difficult couple of months for you, but I feel like we as a team are ready for it, and we will give it everything we've got, and we will see in 13 games if that is enough. It is all about game by game, and not looking at others as we have no influence on other teams or other situations. We are all human beings, and I totally understand anxiety or nervousness can kick in, but we have to just keep going, and we need the fans in the best shape of their lives, and they need us to be in the best shape of our lives as well." Wolves boss Vitor Pereira has claimed Ibrahima Konate should have been sent off on Sunday, but Slot believes it would have been soft. Konate was already on a yellow card when he brought down Matheus Cunha, but the referee opted only to award a foul and not show the Liverpool star a second yellow, and Slot promptly substituted him at half-time. "Yes, I took him off because of that," Slot explained after the game. "Because I saw him getting his first yellow. That was for me a soft yellow. If he would have got the second one for a shoulder push, that would again be a soft yellow. So then he would have been sent off by 2 soft yellows. Liverpool have announced that they will not be increasing ticket prices next season, following protests by fans." In a statement, the club said, "The club held meaningful engagement discussions with its official supporters board on ticket prices, and is grateful for their important and significant contribution to those discussions." As well as adult prices remaining the same, junior tickets will also continue to be frozen at £9 for the 10th season in a row, and are the same price as local tickets, which have been available to those with a Liverpool postcode since the 2016-17 season. Roberto Firmino would likely not be able to complete a sensational Premier League return, despite his Al Ahly future being up in the air. The Brazilian has been linked with a move to Arsenal amid their ongoing injury crisis involving their attacking stars. It was suggested that he could potentially be signed for nothing, with his Al Ahly place under serious question. Firmino was axed from the Saudi club's league squad for the remainder of the campaign. Rules stipulate that clubs can only register 10 foreign players in their squad, with Firmino and former Leeds star Ezgian Alioski, those to miss out in favour of recent signing Galeno. Explaining that decision, Al Ahly boss Matthias Gisele said, "It was a difficult decision for the club, and based on the rules. We appreciate him, and he dealt with it professionally. He's still one of our leaders." And the Saudi side delivered on that promise as Firmino was chosen to captain the side in Monday evening's clash with Al Gharafa in the Asian Champions League competition he is still eligible to play in. Al Ahly tweeted an image of Firmino's shirt and the captain's armband before the game with the caption, "Captain Bobby." The Brazilian's impact was not just limited to captaining Al Ahly though. After ex-Premier League strikers Joselu and Ivan Toney had exchanged strikes, Firmino scored the third goal of the game. Al Ahly ended up winning 4-2, Galeno and Riyad Mahrez extending their advantage even further before Yassine Brahimi scored a consolation for Al Gharafa. Firmino will now be sidelined once again for Al Ahly's next league game against Damak. His next contributions are likely to come in the next round of Asian Champions League, those matches set to take place on March 3rd to 4th and March 10th to 11th. But with league appearances now out of the question, there have been suggestions that Firmino could look to prematurely end his contract and secure a move elsewhere. A return to the Premier League has been mooted for the ex-Liverpool star, but it appears that any ambitious moves for the forward would be foiled. Using the example of Craig Dawson's precarious situation at Wolves, The Athletic report that English clubs would only be allowed to sign a player should he become a free agent during the transfer window, and as such, the veteran forward would only be allowed to move to a country where their windows are still open, with options limited. Of leagues to still have their transfer windows open, Firmino could potentially consider switches to the United States or back to his homeland of Brazil. He could thus potentially choose to bide his time with Al Ahly, where his contract runs until 2026. And his future with his current employers has now taken a fresh turn.